Hello, welcome to TC Weekly's System Override. We are your hosts, Olivia
and Sam. We hope you're as excited as we are to get into today's programs, starting with Planet Progress, where they'll give you a brief history of the conception and future of batteries.
Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Planet Progress, the show where we discover and report on the more unknown details surrounding everyday items. We are your hosts,
Drew Greaves
and Alex Olson.
Today we're going to be talking about battery power, where it comes from, how it's used today, and where it might be going in the future.
Join us as we begin the first of three segments, the past. The term battery was first used by Benjamin Franklin in the late 1700s. He used the term to refer to something he designed that used individually charged glass plates. The more plates he would stack, the more aggressive the discharge of the device. However, he only used it when running electrical experiments and didn't make any other important discoveries regarding battery power.
Italian physicists Luigi Galvani and Alessandro Volta developed the first actual battery by improving on Benjamin Franklin's ideas. They used different materials, primarily copper and zinc, instead of glass, which resulted in a much more efficient device called the voltaic pile. The battery really didn't have any practical use, but was more of a way to prove that the chemical reaction between the elements used could occur.
The technology was improved upon over the next century, usually after discovering a more conductive metal or a more effective compound. Some of these include the Daniell cell, Bird cell, porous pot cell, gravity cell, Poggendorf cell, Grove cell, and the Dunn cell.
One important thing to note is that all these batteries were designed to be used once, with all the ingredients needing to be replaced upon discharge. This refers to the primary battery, and still stands today in reference to single-use batteries such as AA's or AAA's.
It wasn't until the year 1859 that the first rechargeable or secondary type of battery was designed. French physicist Gaston Planté used a combination of lead, acid, and carbon to develop the first lead-acid battery. The recharging method involved sending a current back through it, which would reverse a chemical reaction that occurs when the battery is used. While using this type of battery still wasn't practical in its time due to using liquid and being extremely heavy, the technology survived and is still widely used today.
So now that we've talked about where batteries come from, let's move on to how they're used today.
Batteries have evolved into what they are today due to demands for more power and smaller size. Once the concept of portable power was realized, physicists wasted no time in learning how to accomplish that.
When people think of batteries today, they probably think of your everyday alkaline battery, like AA's or lithium-ion, like the batteries used in your cell phone. Both of these are great examples of showing how batteries have indeed gotten both smaller and more efficient. The technology behind lithium-ion batteries is now being used in electric cars, and secondary alkaline batteries can now be bought pretty much anywhere.
While we have plenty of new battery technology to work with, old technology is still evolving in its own right. Lead-acid batteries, like the ones we use in most of our vehicles today, can be built in ways that allow for different functionality. A deep cycle lead-acid battery is best used for low amp draw over a long period of time, while a cranking lead-acid battery is best used for sending a high number of amps all at once, referred to as cold cranking amps.
So we've established where batteries come from and how they're being used today. So now let's look into the future regarding portable power.
Currently, the fastest growing form of power is solar.
Many of you probably know a little bit about solar power. It takes light energy, such as the sun, and turns it into electricity. Solar panels are used to capture light, and then a power converter converts and transfers it, usually to a battery.
Solar power is currently being used all over our planet to power everything from homes to boat motors, and has already replaced some consumer needs for things like propane and gasoline. The technology is popular due to being basically free energy, however still suffers from long charge times and low power output.
There are constantly new and exciting ideas being brought forward all over the world regarding new battery technology. As technology changes, so does its need for power. An interesting technology currently being tested in Texas is one that uses glass electrolyte. It's roughly the same size as the lithium-ion batteries we use today, but we can charge it in minutes and lasts up to 5 times as long.
When it comes down to it, as long as people continue to exponentially use portable power, the ideas behind it will continue to evolve.
Thank you for watching this episode on batteries and portable power.
See you next time here on Planet Progress.
Wow, that really charged me up. Get it? Charged up like batteries?
They got it. Don't worry. They didn't laugh, but I'm sure they got it. Now here's something that people will actually like to hear. Tomorrow, Wednesday, September 26th at NWTC, there will be free root beer floats in the Commons along with a Pong tournament with cash prizes.
Maybe you're right. That does sound pretty good.
All right, next up, yours truly will take you on a journey through the creation of blues, as well as look at those who helped shape it.
Blues and jazz music has been around since the 1800s, and it's evolved over the years as well. Welcome to Music for the Soul. This has some pretty deep roots in American history, more so African American history. Blues originated on southern plantations around the 18th to 19th century. During the middle to late 1800s, the Deep South was home to hundreds of bluesmen who helped to make the music what it is today. Frankly, some of the original music followed these sharecroppers to their graves. No single person invented blues, but many people have claimed to discover this genre. It's generally accepted that the music evolved from African spirituals, African chants, work songs, and field hollers. Many of the earliest blues musicians incorporated the blues into a wider repertoire that includes traditional folk songs, vaudeville music, and minstrel tunes. Most blues are comprised of 12 bars or measures, a specific series of notes that is utilized in blues. The individual parts of the scale are known as blues notes. Some well-known blues pioneers of the 1920s are Charlie Patton, Robert Johnson, who usually performs solo with just a guitar, Son House, Blind Lemon Jefferson, and Leadbelly. In Chicago, bluesmen such as John Lee Hooker and Muddy Waters were the first to electrify the blues and add drums and pianos in the late 40s.
Hey, child.
Occasionally, these people teamed up to perform on the plantation camps, rural juke joints, and rambling shacks of the Deep South when country blues moved to the cities and other locales. Hence the St. Louis blues, the Memphis blues, the Louisiana blues, and many more. Blues music is so full of life and the struggles that African Americans experienced on a daily basis on the plantations. Blues music is a really good genre, and it has so much soul in the music itself, and that is how blues came to be a well-known part of music history. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Music for the Soul.
Now wasn't that just great?
Sure was. I'm not feeling blue anymore.
You know, all that exercise.
Sorry for the technical difficulties. Now back to the news. At 6 p.m., Triangle Sports Arena will be hosting Yoga on the Hill for a $5 entry fee for those participating. If you have the time, head on down for some relaxing and meditative exercise.
You know, all that exercise talk really made me hungry. I wish I knew where to go get food after this.
Well, there's hope for you yet. Our last program, The 4 Food Guys, will help you find the best places to eat. This episode, they'll take you to Al's Burgers in downtown Green Bay.
That clip of us clapping and then cut to what up?
Yeah.
What up? We're the 4 Food Guys.
And we review the best foods that restaurants have to offer.
So you don't have to. And today we will be checking out Al's Hamburger.
Check. Alright, so we're on our way to Al's Hamburger. We don't know what the best food there is yet, so we're gonna go in and ask them because they're known for hamburgers, so.
And apparently they're shakes.
Yeah, they got amazing shakes. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna buy a hamburger and a shake and review that.
Right.
I swear you guys said live. I swear you guys said live. We're on our way to Al's. We got a bit of a walk here. We got the food. We're on our way back. We got our burgers from Al's. We all got the same burger. It's the Big Al burger. It's their state-of-the-art burger. That's what they're known for. It's actually a pretty big burger.
Let's unpack this.
So my take on the burger, on average we paid $14 a meal. For the price point, I would say for me that's too high. But what do you guys think about the amount of food that you guys got?
The burger was big. What was it, a half-pound burger?
Yeah, half-pound burger.
It was good. Don't get me wrong. Taste was there, but for the price point, I think it wasn't that good of a deal. But it was a really good burger. I enjoyed that burger. Yeah.
It was one of those fancy
point,
buns. It was, I don't know. They put it looks like they put time into their burgers. Yeah.
And for me, I'd be kind of the same with Nick. And the price was a little higher for me, but there wasn't as much as you can go to other places and get more food for $14.
And I think. Well, what about you?
Well, I would say the price is generally a good price for what you pay for, because everyone's so used to fast food like McDonald's and everything
That's
being
a good point.
$4 but you get that thick of a burger and then just some lettuce and a tomato slab onto a crappy bun.
Definitely a good point.
So it's I understand where they're coming from with the price and everything. You get what you pay for, and the price was well worth it for the quality.
All right, Joel, what would you rank Al's Hamburger in downtown Green Bay?
I would say 3.5 Food Guys out of 4.
Okay.
okay.
What about you, Nick?
I'd say 3 Food Guys out of 4.
3 out of 4?
I definitely have to agree with Nick. I'll say 3 Food Guys out of 4. And you, Matt?
I think I would go with 3 out of 4 just because, again, you're paying $14 for a meal, but yet you're still getting that quality hamburger with a side. I think if they just dropped down the price just a little bit, I think it would be just I'd say it'd be 4 out of 4. If down to a $10 meal, heck yeah, I would go there all the time then. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Fair enough.
Well, that pretty much wraps up our review of Al's Hamburger. I hope you go check it out in downtown Green Bay. Just a reminder, we're the 4 Food Guys. I hope to see you guys in the next one. Later.
I'll be sure to remember that place. I'm practically starving.
That brings us to the end of our show today. Thanks for watching with your host, Sam.
And Olivia. And make sure to tune in to TC Weekly's System Override next week, Tuesday at 3 p.m.
System over.